Chayeva yasya bhuvanani vibarti durga, ichanurupamapi yasya cha cheshtate sa, govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. The intrinsic or divine potency shadow is personified as the Maya potency who accomplishes creation, sustenance, and dissolution, and who is worshipped in the world as Durga. By he whose wish she acts, that primeval Lord Govinda do I worship.
Traducción. La sombra de la potencia divina o intrínseca está personificada como la potencia de Maya, quien ejecuta la creación, el sustento y la disolución, y quien es adorado en el mundo como Durga. Él, por cuyo deseo ella actúa, a ese prístino señor Govinda yo adoro.
Purport. The presiding deity of the aforementioned Devi Dham is being described. This world where Brahma is situated and singing the glories of the Lord of Goloka is the world of 14 plains, Devi Dham, of which the presiding goddess is Durga. She has 10 arms representing the 10 karmas or purificatory rites. Her prowess as a heroine is indicated by her riding on a lion. She is the subduer of vice, represented in her punishing Mahishasura, the buffalo demon. She is the mother of Kartik and Ganesh, indicating her to be the possessor of beauty and success, represented in her sons. She is positioned midway between the aspects of Lakshmi and Saraswati, who are the companions of worldly opulence and knowledge. For suppressing vice, she is the bearer of 20 weapons, representing the manifold Vedic religious duties. She is adorned with, that is, she holds the snake, representing the beauty of time, the vanquisher. Durga possesses all these features.
Significado. En este verso se describe la deidad que preside el Devi Dham anteriormente mencionado. Este mundo, donde Brahma está situado y está cantando las glorias del Señor de Goloka, es el mundo de los 14 planos, Devi Dham, en el cual la diosa regente es Durga. Ella tiene 10 brazos que representan los 10 karmas o ritos purificatorios. Ella va montada sobre un león, lo cual representa su valentía heroica. Ella es la subyugadora del vicio, lo que está representado en su castigo a Mahisasura, el demonio búfalo. Ella es la madre de Kartika y Ganesh, lo que indica que es la poseedora de la belleza y del éxito, representados en sus hijos. Ella se encuentra situada en el medio de los aspectos de Lakshmi y Saraswati, quienes son las compañeras de la opulencia mundana y del conocimiento. Para suprimir el vicio, ella posee 20 armas que representan los múltiples deberes religiosos védicos. Como adorno lleva una serpiente, representando la belleza del tiempo, el aniquilador. Durga posee todas estas características.
So, in the previous verse, there was this description of the different layers of existence from Lord Brahma's perspective.
Entonces, en un verso anterior se hizo una descripción de los diferentes planos de existencia desde la perspectiva de Brahma.
So, Lord Brahma, he's situated at the top of the material plane, which is called Devi Dham, Devi referring to Durga Devi, the presiding goddess of this worldly plane.
Entonces Brahma se encuentra en el tope del mundo material, el cual es conocido como Devi Dham porque la deidad que preside este plano se llama la diosa Devi o Durga.
And so then above is Mahesh Dham, or Lord Shiva's plane, and then above that is Haridam, referring to Vaikuntha, Lord Narayan's abode.
Entonces más arriba de este plano está Maheshdam, que es el plano del Señor Shiva. Más arriba de ese plano está Haridam, que es el plano de Vaikuntha.
And then above all is Goloka, Krishna's own abode.
Y entonces más arriba de todos está Goloka, la morada de Krishna.
And now in these following verses, Lord Brahma is giving some description of the nature of each of the presiding deities of these planes of existence.
Y entonces ahora en los versos siguientes Brahma está dando una descripción acerca de cada una de las deidades que presiden estos planos.
And so now in this verse that we've just heard, he is describing something of the nature of Durga Devi, the presiding deity of this zone which we are all in.
Entonces en este verso que acabamos de leer, él está describiendo algo acerca de la deidad que preside este plano, que es Durga.
So now we'll continue with the purport. Durga also possesses a Durga. Durga means prison. When the jivas who have their origin in the marginal potency become averse to Krishna, the prison in which they are interned is Durga's Durga. The instrument of punishment in that prison is the wheel of karma. The instrument of punishment in that prison is the wheel of karma. Her duty by the wish of Govinda is to fulfill the task of reforming the averse jivas by such corrective measures, a task that she executes perpetually. When the jivas have the fortune of attaining sadhu sangha, the holy association of pure devotees, and their aversity is removed and they turn towards Krishna, the very same Durga, by the wish of Govinda, becomes the cause of their liberation.
Durga también posee una Durga. La palabra Durga significa prisión. Cuando las jivas, quienes se originan de la potencia marginal, se vuelven adversas a Krishna, quedan confinadas a una prisión, y esa prisión es la Durga de Durga. El instrumento de castigo en esa prisión es la rueda del karma. El deber de Durga, el cual ejecuta por el deseo de Govinda, es el de reformar a las jivas adversas mediante medidas correctivas, una tarea que ella ejecuta de forma perpetua. Cuando las jivas tienen la fortuna de obtener sadhu sangha, asociación sagrada de los devotos puros, y su adversidad es removida y se vuelven hacia el Señor, la propia Durga, de nuevo por el deseo de Govinda, se vuelve la causa de su liberación.
So, it's easy to speak of Maya Devi or Durga Devi in negative terms, but actually she's a very faithful servant of the Lord, and she has this particular duty that she is carrying out.
Es muy fácil hablar acerca de Durga o de Maya Devi en términos negativos, pero de hecho ella hace un servicio muy valioso para el Señor.
And one nice way it's been described is she's carrying out a kind of quality control.
Y de una manera así descrito como que ella carga como que su deber es el control de calidad.
If someone is producing someone's manufacturing some particular product, they have to ensure that it is of a particular standard.
Como por ejemplo, si alguien está fabricando algún tipo de producto, alguien tiene que analizar o revisar que sea un producto de buena calidad.
And so also Maya Devi, in various ways, she's pressing us and poking us and testing whether we are actually ready to leave this material atmosphere.
Entonces Maya Devi de la misma manera está probándonos para saber si realmente estamos listos para dejar este plano material.
And this karma it can be seen as a type of punishment, but it is actually a form of correction which should reform us and help to improve us.
Entonces este karma es visto como un tipo de castigo, pero de hecho es algo que nos ayuda a reformarnos y mejorar.
Okay. So it is conducive to show the warden, warden in quotes, as in a prison warden, Durga, one's reformed favorable attitude, to satisfy her and gain her undeceiving grace. Wealth, successful agriculture, assurance of the health of one's family members, etc. One should know all such benedictions as the deceptive grace of Durga. For the delusion of souls averse to Krishna, Durga manifests in the mundane world her 10 forms, known as Dash Mahavidya, showing their worldly psychic pastimes.
Así es
In
conveniente.
quotes, I don't know what that is. Worldly psychic pastimes, in quotes.
Así es conveniente mostrar a la carcelera, Durga, una actitud favorable de enmienda para satisfacerla y obtener su misericordia. La riqueza, la agricultura próspera, la seguridad en la salud de nuestros familiares, etc. Todas estas bendiciones debemos verlas como la misericordia ilusoria de Durga. Para ilusionar a las almas adversas a Krishna, Durga manifiesta en el plano mundano sus 10 formas, conocidas como Dasa Mahavidya, exhibiendo sus pasatiempos mundanos psíquicos.
And we're reminded, this is a very nice point here, undeceiving grace and deceptive grace. This is, an important point to consider.
What is that part?
Undeceiving grace as opposed to deceptive grace. Deceiving and undeceiving grace. But you understand what I'm saying. Deceive, that word deceiving?
Deceiving.
Like deceptive. Deceptive grace.
Like to trick someone.
Or to say it look like something that it's not. Pretending to be something that it's not.
Like cheating?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Here you are.
would look like
Todas estas bendiciones debemos verlas como la misericordia ilusoria de Durga. Oh, well, that word's a little confusing. They've put it as the illusory mercy.
The translation
Yeah,
is
the
very different.
Yeah, this translation is not very good. I'm sorry, whoever did it, but
an angel dressed like a witch or something. That's the set. The angel dressed.
Wow.
Or
I think you're confusing the issue.
like a.
It's okay. I think it's saying like things like wealth, prosperity, name and fame. This is not real mercy. This is cheating mercy. It is deceptive. It is a deception. So there's 2 kinds of mercy. There is real mercy and there is apparent mercy, but is not real mercy because it is supporting one in their material existence, not their eternal spiritual existence.
Entonces es un punto muy interesante el que toca acá, que dice que hay como 2 tipos de misericordia, que una es la misericordia que es como engañosa, que aparentemente riqueza y prosperidad en este mundo material, y también está la misericordia que viene como del plano espiritual.
So sometimes, we may, and many persons do, and we may also fall into that trap of equating material gain with the Lord's mercy. Unfortunately. Of course, it may be. It may be the Lord's grace upon someone to facilitate their devotional life. That is possible. But it may be the opposite. It may be the result of karma, which will actually take one away from their devotional practice.
Entonces muchas veces nos puede pasar que cuando recibimos algo de ganancia material lo tomamos como que viene de la misericordia del Señor. Y puede que así sea, puede que el Señor nos esté dando alguna ganancia material para ayudarnos en nuestra vida de servicio, como también puede que esa ganancia material que estamos obteniendo venga por parte de nuestro karma y que esa ganancia que obtenemos nos ayude de hecho a alejarnos más de la vida devocional.
And there is a well-known verse in Bhagavatam saying that when the Lord wants to favor somebody, then he will take away all their wealth.
Entonces hay un verso en el Srimad Bhagavatam que dice que cuando el Señor quiere favorecer a alguien, entonces Él le quitará toda su riqueza material.
The idea being that if it is an obstacle to their devotional development, then it must be, that will be his mercy to remove that.
Entonces se debe ver como que si esa riqueza que uno posee es un obstáculo para la vida devocional, entonces el Señor va a remover eso.
And I'm reminded, this paragraph here reminds me of the incident described in Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavat of the Digvijay Pandit, this great scholar who was defeated by Mahaprabhu.
Entonces hace alusión a un pasatiempo del Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat.
Both.
Yeah. Chaitanya Charitamrita y Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, un pasatiempo en el que Mahaprabhu derrota a Digvijay Das.
Digvijay Pandit.
Digvijay Pandit.
That he was the favorite son of Saraswati. He was a very dear devotee of the goddess Saraswati, who is the goddess of knowledge. And for that reason, he was a very brilliant scholar.
Digvijay Pandit era un muy querido devoto de la diosa Saraswati y debido a eso, él era muy erudito.
Because Saraswati is the goddess of knowledge.
Porque Saraswati es la diosa del conocimiento.
But finally, he was defeated by Mahaprabhu, his pride, because this was his one fault, that he had pride about his gifts. And so it was the Mahaprabhu's mercy upon him that he slashed his pride.
Pero finalmente,
as a 12-year-old boy.
Pero finalmente él fue derrotado por Mahaprabhu y fue como la misericordia de Mahaprabhu hacia él, porque Digvijay Pandit estaba muy orgulloso por esa bendición que le había dado la diosa Saraswati, y al ser derrotado por Mahaprabhu eso le fue removido.
And so then the Digvijay, Keshav, his name is Keshav Kashmiri, he's utterly bewildered because, he's feeling like he's bewildered and humbled and hurt because he's feeling like, his beloved goddess abandoned him, let him down, So he's kind of like, what happened? Like, I thought we were cool here. Like, what happened? You don't like me anymore.
Entonces él está muy perturbado porque siente como que la diosa Saraswati lo ha abandonado, y él se pregunta qué pasó, por qué esto está pasando.
And so that night Saraswati Devi appears to him in a dream and reveals that this is not an ordinary boy, this is the Lord himself, I am his humble servant.
Entonces esa misma noche Saraswati se le revela a él en un sueño y le dice que él no es un niño ordinario, quien lo ha derrotado es el mismo Señor Mahaprabhu.
And she also tells him there that the real result of your knowledge will be to bring you to the lotus feet of the Lord. That should be the real purpose. That will be the real fruit of knowledge.
Y también ella le dice que el verdadero resultado de tu conocimiento es obtener devoción o obtener los pies del loto del Señor. Ese es el propósito.
So also in Sharanagati, there's a nice line of Bhakti Thakur where he compares mundane knowledge to a heavy load that a donkey carries. It's just like this heavy weight that you're carrying.
Entonces, también Bhaktivinoda Thakur describe el conocimiento como una
heavy load.
heavy load.
A load is something that you carry.
Como una carga pesada que alguien carga.
So in the same way, when it comes to knowledge, the real form of expression of knowledge will be to inspire one in devotion. But the false expression or mayic expression of knowledge will just be something that entangles one deeper within this worldly plane.
Entonces, el verdadero conocimiento es aquel que nos va a llevar hacia el camino espiritual, y el conocimiento falso es aquel que nos va a enredar más en este plano material.
Okay. The soul is a particle of consciousness. When he commits the offense of aversity to the service of Krishna, he is pulled by Maya's attracting potency. As soon as he is thus distracted, Durga restricts him to a gross body of the 5 basic mundane elements, their attributes and 11 senses, which is like a prisoner's uniform. Wow. Then she hurls him into the wheel of karma. I'm going to read that again. So the soul is a particle of consciousness. When he commits the offense of aversity to the service of Krishna, he is pulled by Maya's attracting potency. As soon as he is thus distracted, Durga restricts him to a gross body of the 5 basic mundane elements, their attributes and 11 senses, which is like a prisoner's uniform. Brilliant, just brilliant. Then she hurls him into the wheel of karma. Revolving within that cycle, the jiva experiences joy and sorrow, heaven and hell, and so on. Besides this, she gives him, within the gross body, a subtle body consisting of the mind, intelligence, and ego. Upon leaving one gross body, the jiva in that subtle body takes shelter within another gross body. Until he is liberated, he cannot leave his subtle body, which is composed of evil desires. When the subtle body is given up, he bathes in the waters of the Viraja river and goes to the abode of Lord Hari.
El alma es una partícula de conciencia. Cuando el alma comete la ofensa de adversar el servicio a Krishna, esta es arrastrada por la potencia de atracción de Maya. Tan pronto como el alma es así distraída, Durga la restringe a un cuerpo grueso de los 5 elementos mundanos básicos, sus atributos y 11 sentidos, que son como el uniforme de un prisionero, y luego ella lo lanza a la rueda del karma. Girando dentro de ese ciclo, la jiva experimenta alegría y pena, el cielo y el infierno, etc. Además de esto, Durga le otorga dentro del cuerpo grueso un cuerpo sutil compuesto por la mente, la inteligencia y el ego. Al abandonar el cuerpo grueso, la jiva en ese cuerpo sutil toma refugio dentro de otro cuerpo grueso. Hasta que la jiva no se libere, no podrá dejar ese cuerpo sutil, el cual se compone de deseos maliciosos. Una vez que abandona el cuerpo sutil, la jiva se baña en las aguas del río Viraya y va a la morada del Señor Hari.
Durga performs all these tasks by the will of Govinda. Vilajyamanaya yasya statum ikshapate muya vimohita vikatante mamaham iti durdiya. In this statement of Bhagavatam, Durga's relationship with the jivas averse to Krishna has been described. This is the Durga who is worshipped in the mundane world. But the Durga mentioned in the mantra, which is the outer covering of the abode of the Lord, she is the transcendental maidservant of Krishna. The shadow Durga executes the duties of the world as her maidservant. Read Sri Jiva's Sanskrit commentary on the 3rd shloka.
Durga ejecuta todas estas tareas por la voluntad de Govinda. Vilaya manaya yasya sta tumni iksha pate muya vinnohita vikatante maham iti durtiya. En esta declaración del Bhagavatam se describe la relación de Durga con las jivas adversas a Krishna. Esta es la Durga que se adora en el mundo material, pero la Durga que se menciona en el mantra, que es la cubierta externa de la morada del Señor, ella es la sirvienta trascendental de Krishna. La Durga sombra ejecuta sus deberes de este mundo como su sirvienta. Veas el comentario de Sriyukta en sánscrito del tercer sloka.
Okay, so we'll go to verse 45, which is describing Lord Shiva. Kshiram yata dadi vikara vishesha yogat sanjayate nahitata pitak asti heto yashambhutam apitata samupaiti karya govinda madi purusham tamaham bhajami. As milk becomes transformed into yogurt by reacting with an added agent, yet yogurt is not separate from its origin, milk. Similarly, for accomplishing a particular task, he who assumes the nature of Shambhu, that primeval Lord Govinda, do I worship.
Tal como la leche se transforma en yogur por la reacción ante un agente añadido, y aún así el yogur no está separado de su origen, la leche, de manera similar, para cumplir una tarea en particular, él, quien asume la naturaleza de Shambhu, a ese prístino Señor Govinda yo adoro.
Purport. The innate nature of the aforementioned Shambhu, the presiding deity of Mahesh Dham, is being elucidated. Shambhu is not another god separate from Krishna. Those who hold such a biased view are blasphemers of the Supreme Lord. Shambhu's control is subject to the control of Govinda, and so they are actually non-different truth. This symptom of their non-difference is illustrated by the example that, as milk is transformed to assume the properties of yogurt with the addition of an agent, similarly, although the Lord becomes transformed to assume another form, that form is dependent. That transformed aspect has no independence.
Significado. Se describe la naturaleza innata del mencionado Shambhu, la deidad que preside en Mahesh Dham. Shambhu no es otro dios separado de Krishna. Aquellos que asumen dicha visión son blasfemadores del Señor Supremo. El control de Shambhu está sujeto al control de Govinda, de modo que ellos son realmente una misma verdad. El síntoma de su no diferenciación es ilustrada por la analogía del yogur. Tal como la leche se transforma para asumir las propiedades del yogur mediante la añadidura de algún agente. Similarmente, aunque el Señor se transforma para asumir otra forma, esa forma es dependiente, ese aspecto transformado no tiene independencia.
Tamagun, or the material quality of inertia, the quality of minuteness of the marginal potency, and a minute degree of a mixture of divine cognizance, samvit, and ecstasy, hladini, all these elements combined constitute a particular transformation. The form of the distant aspect of the plenary portion of the Supreme Lord that is amalgamated with this transformation constitutes the halo of the divinity as the masculine generative organ, Lord Shambhu, form of Sadashiva. And from Shambhu, Rudradev is manifest.
Tamaguna, o la cualidad material de la inercia, la cualidad de la pequeñez, de la potencia marginal y un mínimo grado de una mezcla de conciencia divina, Samvir y éxtasis, Hladini, todos estos elementos combinados constituyen una transformación particular. La forma del aspecto distante de la porción plenaria del Señor Supremo, que está amalgamada con esta transformación, constituye el halo de la divinidad, como el órgano reproductivo masculino. El señor Shambhu en la forma de Sadashiva y de Shambhu se manifiesta Rudradeva.
In the work of creation as the efficient cause in the form of the aggregate material elements, in the work of sustenance by vanquishing certain demons, and for the purpose of executing the entire work of annihilation, Govinda descends as the Gunavatar, descent pertaining to one of the three qualities of material nature in the entity of Shambhu, who is a separated portion endowed with the nature of a plenary portion. Shambhu's aspect as Lord of Time has been corroborated in the scriptures, and the authoritative quotations have been cited in the Sanskrit commentary of Sri Jiva.
En el trabajo de la creación, como la causa eficiente en la forma de la totalidad de los elementos materiales, en el trabajo del sustento por derrotar a ciertos demonios y con el propósito de ejecutar la labor completa de la aniquilación, Govinda desciende como el Gunavatar, descenso perteneciente a una de las tres cualidades de la naturaleza material, en la forma de Shambhu, quien es una porción separada de Govinda dotada de la naturaleza de una porción plenaria. El aspecto de Shambhu como el Señor del Tiempo ha sido corroborado en las Escrituras y las citas autoritativas se mencionan en el comentario en sánscrito de Sri Jiva.
The purport of such statements in the Srimad Bhagavatam as Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu, etc., where Shambhu's glories as a Vaishnav are extolled, is that Shambhu, by his own potency of time and subordinate to the will of Govinda, unites with Durga Devi and accomplishes his tasks. In many scriptures headed by the Tantras, he teaches religious forms that are a ladder for the jivas of various qualifications to attain bhakti or devotion. By Govinda's sweet will, he indirectly protects and sustains Shuddha Bhakti or pure devotion by preaching the doctrine of Mayavad, illusionism, and intellectual or imaginary fabrications of the scriptures.
El significado de las declaraciones en el Srimad Bhagavatam, tales como Vaishnavanam, Yata Shambhu, etc., en las cuales se exaltan las glorias de Shambhu como un Vaishnava, es que Shambhu, por su propio poder del tiempo y subordinado a la voluntad de Govinda, se une con Durga Devi y realiza sus tareas. En muchas escrituras encabezadas por los tantras, él enseña formas religiosas que son como escaleras que conducen a las jivas de diferentes calificaciones para que puedan alcanzar bhakti o devoción. Por la dulce voluntad de Govinda, Shambhu indirectamente protege y mantiene el Shuddha Bhakti o devoción pura mediante la prédica de la filosofía mayavada, ilusionismo, y de las especulaciones intelectuales o imaginarias sobre las escrituras.
It's interesting, Lord Shiva, he has a place in every position. You know? Like he has a place on the negative side, on the anti-side, and he also has a place in the marginal zone, and he also has a place in the positive service zone.
Es interesante que el Señor Shiva tiene un lugar en cada uno de los planos. Él tiene un lugar en el plano negativo, también tiene su lugar en el plano marginal y también tiene su lugar en el plano espiritual o el plano positivo.
Gurudev, he pointed out once, quoting one of the Chatur Shloki of Bhagavatam, saying how the Lord should always anvaya vyatare kabhyam, that the Lord should always directly and indirectly be approached. And so, okay, sorry.
Srila Gurudev, citando uno de los 4 versos principales del Srimad Bhagavatam, habla acerca, what is the verse about?
The verse is saying that one should always directly and indirectly approach the Lord.
Entonces el verso dice que uno siempre debe directa e indirectamente aproximarse al Señor.
And so Srila Gurudev, he was mentioning, he quoted that verse once in relation to Lord Shiva, saying that Lord Shiva, he sometimes he's on the indirect side, like opposing Krishna, which is actually, it is opposing Krishna. Sometimes he's on the side of the demons or the Mayavadis. So like apparently opposing, but it's actually an indirect way of supporting the positive side.
Entonces, Gurudev menciona este verso en relación con el Señor Shiva, ya que muchas veces él puede aparecer estar de parte del lado negativo, como haciendo oposición al Señor y apoyando a los demonios o algo así, pero en realidad él siempre está a favor del Señor.
So sometimes he's playing that role. How was it? Leader of the opposition party. That was how Srila Sridhar Maharaj expressed it once. Leader of the opposition party.
Entonces algunas veces él está jugando ese rol de ser el líder de la parte opositoria.
And also in one place he was saying how this is a policy in politics, that you have one of your own persons like on the anti-side represented, like one of your own people, they're represented in the anti-side.
Ajá. Entonces es también como una estrategia que tiene o la policía, que muchas veces ellos introducen a una persona de su confianza dentro de la parte contraria.
And then also he has a place in the highest plane of pastimes. He has a place as a guard and as a protector in the Lord's own Dham.
Pero también él tiene su papel en el lado positivo, en el mundo espiritual es como el guardián en la morada del Señor.
And so we can understand, what an intimate relationship he has with the Lord, that he, he has a role to play in every aspect of the Lord's creation.
Entonces podemos ver el rol tan importante que él tiene o la relación tan importante que él tiene con el Señor, que él juega un rol en cada uno de los planos de creación que el Señor ha creado.
So such an intimate, relationship he has with the Lord.
Entonces tan íntima relación él tiene con el Señor.
And sometimes the Lord is worshiping him, like Lord Ramachandra, when he's setting the example of the ideal, grihasta life, king life, then he's worshiping Lord Shiva. And then Lord Shiva is also, of course, worshiping him. Lord Shiva is always taking the name of Lord Hari, of Lord Krishna, Govinda.
Algunas veces el Señor mismo adora al Señor Shiva, como en el caso de Ramachandra, él, para colocar el ejemplo acerca de cómo debe ser la vida de un grihastra, él adoraba al Señor Shiva, y por su parte el Señor Shiva también adora al Señor Rama.
And Srila Sridhar Maharaj mentions in one place how they have this debate between them, that there's this, because there's one name, Rameshwar, and it can be understood either as meaning the Lord of Ram, it can be understood to mean Ram's Lord, as in Shiva is the master of Ram, or the other way around. Is that working in my head? Is that working in somebody's head? Somebody's brain who's better than me. It can mean either, Ram's Ishwar, the Ishwar of Ram, or that his Ishwar is Ram, something like that. That Shiva's Ishwar is Ram. I have to check, but something like that. How it can be interpreted to mean that either one is the master of the other.
Entonces,
You've got it. Okay. Someone's got it.
Srila Sridhar Maharaj habla acerca de como una discusión que hay acerca del significado del nombre Rameshwar.
Like, because they Lord Shiva and Lord Ram, or Lord Krishna, we can say, they have this debate. Because there's always this competition between the Lord and his devotees, that the Lord wants to promote his devotees, and his devotees want to promote the Lord, right?
Entonces siempre hay como este debate entre el Señor Rama, el Señor Shiva y el Señor Krishna, como que cada uno de ellos quiere promover a su devoto. Entonces para el Señor Rama, el Rameshwar es como que aquel que, el devoto del Señor Shiva. Para el Señor Shiva quiere decir aquel que es el devoto del Señor Rama.
Okay. We can read this last paragraph. The 50 qualities of the jiva are present within Shambhu in copious proportions, and 5 more great qualities unattainable by the ordinary jivas are also found in him in partial proportion. So Shambhu cannot be categorized as a jiva. He is Lord of jivas, Ishvar, although he partakes of the nature of a separated part, Vibhinamsha, of the Supreme Lord. So Shiva's in his own category. He's his own tattva. I think with Ram Nandru we were mentioning that the other day.
Las 50 cualidades de la jiva están presentes dentro de Shambhu en proporciones abundantes y además también se encuentran en él, en proporción parcial, otras 5 grandes cualidades inalcanzables por las jivas ordinarias, de modo que Shambhu no puede categorizarse como una jiva. Él es el Señor de las jivas, Ishvara, aunque participe de la naturaleza de una expansión del Señor Supremo.
Okay. Well, I have a few more minutes.
Lord Shiva, it is like a position, right? Like a post. Jiva can become Shiva through the certain practices.
Well, both. I mean, Shiva is a a particular being and Deva. But at the same time, in a more like ontological sense, Srila Sridhar Maharaj has spoken of Shiva in the sense that you mentioned, that Shiva. This subject matter, I don't really feel qualified to properly explain. I don't have that type of brain power. But he's spoken in more of an ontological sense of. There's one very nice talk where Srila Sridhar Maharaj discusses it, and he says that Shiva is pure consciousness living within the relativity of mundanity. That is Shiva. And he also speaks of it as that position where one is free from the entanglement of Maya, but still living within the relativity of Maya, not accepting the servitorship of Krishna yet. So like this kind of marginal position, where they haven't entered the positive side, but they're maintaining a position of mastership over Maya. So they're still within the relativity of Maya. And he describes it as, that famous expression, like the final test that the jiva will have to face.
So his wife is Maya, and he treats her as a wife, but he's not charmed by her.
Not under her influence. Yeah. And there's one, I heard one talk where someone saw this picture. They were puzzled because there was a painting they'd come across somewhere, I think maybe Navadvip Market or something, of of the goddess Durga standing on top of Shiva. Some kind of depiction like that. And they asked Srila Sridhar Maharaj about that, and he was saying this depiction is meant to show the living entities. Your position should be like Lord Shiva, like beyond the influence of material nature. But now you've become under the control of Maya, but actually you are superior to Maya. Like along those lines. So, but the Shiva Tattva is very, very complex. Srila Sridhar Maharaj has mentioned it as one of the inconceivable tattvas. Shiva Tattva, Vigraha Tattva, the deity, Dham Tattva, and then there was a fourth one.
This was Jiva?
I'm not sure if it was Jiva. No.
No?
Maybe Guru Tattva. Shiva Tattva, Dham Tattva, Vigraha Tattva. And the fourth one, maybe Jiva Tattva, maybe Guru Tattva. I'm not quite sure, I don't remember right now. But Shiva Tattva is one of them. Very, very difficult to understand. Of course, it is all very difficult to understand. I'm saying it is all, you're mentioning Vishnu Tattva, and then we can say in a general sense, it is all a chinsha, it is all difficult. But some are more difficult, we can say, particularly when Shiva Tattva, I really cannot get my head around. Very, very bewildering. Because he has a position everywhere, he has a place everywhere.
So you also hear that it's that aspect of Vishnu which touches the material energy. So Vishnu never gets in connection with the material energy, and she was like his glove. That part of Vishnu which touches the material energy, Shambhu, with his glance, that becomes Shiva. But he's not charmed by it, but he's inevitably in contact with it.
Yeah. There's the Rudra aspect, like darker, more connected with forces of darkness, destruction. There's the Shambhu aspect, which seems to be a little different also. Then there's Sadashiva, which is different again. The eternal aspect of Shiva, the devotee aspect of Shiva. And then there's Shiva in Shiva Loka, which is like the beginning of the spiritual sky, where there's just some touch of positive devotional tendency. But then Shiva again, he is in Vrindavan, in connection with the Rasa Leela,
Did he actually get there? Because I heard that story that some snake came, he was dressed as a gopi, but then a snake came out and someone spotted it, noticed it, and so he didn't finally get the entry into that.
He's given that name, Gopishvar,
Yeah.
which indicates some position there with the gopis. And he's also known as Kshetrapal, the protector, the guardian of the Dham.
That's why in Navadvip there's a temple of Shiva.
There's several temples of Shiva.
Well, in terms of Govinda Kunda.
In our temple, Gurudev made, and there's several others also, in Navadvip and Mayapur. Yeah, and that is actually what that is actually one of Gurudev's unique things, because this was Gurudev's revelation that Lord Shiva has an eternal place in Vrindavan, then he must also have an eternal place in Navadvip. And so Gurudev gave that name Sadashiva Gangadhar. That he's also connected with Mahaprabhu's Leela, like holding the Ganga, because he accepted that service. And this is another thing about Shiva, like he always does the dirty work, like he always does the difficult jobs, like nobody wants to do, He's drinking the poison from the ocean of milk. And then another thing is because when Ganga Devi was being prayed to descend to the earth, she was reluctant, and she had different points of concern. But one of her concerns was that in the force of her fall from the heavens, she would go down to the hellish planets, which she really didn't want. And so Lord Shiva, he made that agreement that you can land on my head and I'll break your fall, so you'll come more gently into the earthly plane. And so he's known as Gangadhar, like the holder of Ganga. And so Gurudev, he combines these Sadashiva, so Sadashiva indicating the eternal aspect of Shiva, and Gangadhar, the holder of Ganga Devi. So, Mahaprabhu and his Navadvip Leela, he's bathing in the Ganges, and so there's that beautiful connection there.
So Govinda Maharaj is in a relationship with this feeling towards Lord Shiva, that when Guru Maharaj had a very bad health, and Guru Maharaj was praying to Shiva to find some medicine for Guru Maharaj. And you have the story when he was standing in the shower, pouring the water on his head, and all of a sudden he heard the name of the medicine. And as soon as he done that medicine, Guru Maharaj felt much better.
Yeah, there's also that special relationship there that our Gurudev had with Lord Shiva. Srila Sridhar Maharaj mentioned that maybe they're parshads. Yeah. And that, that temple that Gurudev manifests, is not, that's something like, very specific, not something that is imitated. Because, sometimes our devotees, they get the wrong idea, It's not that everything Gurudev does, we'll go and do, But, that, one point is that particular relationship that Gurudev had with Lord Shiva. And another point is that it is in the Dham, in Navadvip, and, where Shiva has some specific role to play. And furthermore, in that line, Gurudev, he describes like how he contemplated this point and how he was seeing how the temple was becoming so big, and it was like a small city, our temple. There are several temples within the temple, and so Gurudev said he felt the necessity for Lord Shiva has that role as Kshetrapal, as the protector of the Dham. And so because our mat had become so big, then he felt the necessity for Lord Shiva to come and have some place there as a protector and a guardian. So, for very specific reasons, that was done.
Before devotees go for parikrama, also go to Shiva's temple and ask permission to go, because he's a protector, he wouldn't allow you to, face control.
All of our gurus, actually, they have special Shiva stories. Srila Sridhar Maharaj, like we know Gurudev, he came by the prayer of his parents to Lord Shiva. And then Srila Sridhar Maharaj, that very same Shiva deity, he had a relationship with that deity, and he actually prayed before he took initiation from Saraswati Thakur. and like officially joins the Gaudiya Math. He prayed to Lord Shiva there for his blessings and received that. So, yeah, we see he has some very special place.
Are those lordships still there?
Yeah, what is it in Jamalpur? Bururaj Shiva. The place is called Jamalpur. Yeah, we were actually hoping to go this time when we were going to Ekachakra, but it would have taken too long. It's between Hapanya and Bamampara. Yeah, maybe next time we can. Srila Sridhar Maharaj used to walk there every day. He'd pick a lotus flower. It was 2 or 3 miles or something, 4 miles, maybe more. He'd pick a lotus flower from the Ganges. Oh, we're saying a lot here. You have to poke me. He'd pick a lotus flower from the Ganges and then offer to that Shiva and then walk home. And that very same Shiva, Gurudev's parents, they prayed to. Prayed that he would send one of his own sons. You can maybe just say, we were saying something about the importance of Lord Shiva for our gurus, or something. Okay, or don't worry, it's okay. We're late for Arati. Jai Shri Sadashiva ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Nirmala Charja Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Sanjay Arati ki Jai. Oh no, let's stream the Arati. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Bhakti